All right, what's going on today, people? Back with another quick video here. Today, obviously, gonna be my first microtech review. I got this knife actually 4 or 5 days ago now. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and make this video. So here we go. I picked up this one from DLT Trading. Sent me this really cool sticker. I like that. So I got the ultratech single edge tactical standard 121-1T. There's the box. Got the little bit sticky they put on there to keep it closed. Inspected by. You got your booklet. And here is the knife. So like I said, I've had this one for 4 or 5 days now, just to kind of play with it a little bit, and it has broken in rather nicely, I must say. So when I first got it, wasn't super impressed. It's kind of, it's alright, but put just a drop of oil in here and on the back side and sprayed it out with some rim oil, then blasted it out with air. And it worked well because I got it from DLT Trading, but you can see the date on here, 09/2019, so it's almost exactly 2 years old. So it's been sitting on the shelf for 2 years. Don't know how I feel about that. I guess that's not a huge deal. Nothing would change from this one to a new one, I believe, so it is what it is, I guess. Again, I got the single edge. The reason I went with the single edge, like I said, this is my first microtech. I was wanting something I could actually use, because on a single edge you can get your thumb back here and really dig in if you need to. Some people say these aren't hard use knives, but they're designed to be hard use tools. Microtech, they put a lot of effort into making this a premium product, so it absolutely can be abused. I don't know if you've seen some of the torture tests on YouTube. People, nail it like this through a 2x4, things like that. So it's definitely a solid knife. Came razor sharp. I've just got a little chunk of paper I was cutting on here, but cut right through it. That wasn't a great test, to be honest with you. I don't have any more paper beside me right now. I should have thought about that. Here's a Knives Plus card. So, it came razor sharp. It'll shave you. This one came in 204p, which when I bought it, I didn't realize, and I guess this is common with microtechs, they switched between 204p, excuse me, M390 and LMAX. So you pretty much, at the time I'm filming this, that's kind of what you get. Didn't realize that till after I bought it. I don't know why, I was just kind of assuming it was going to be M390. But 204p is almost the exact same as M390, just the American version from what I understand. So after doing a little research, I was actually hoping for some 204p, and that's what I got. So happy there. This is the tactical standard, so it's got DLC on the blade, and it stops right there and then does it on the top again. I really like that. The back side of the blade, you can see it a little better. It's got that little notch right in there. You get all black hardware, a black glass breaker, a black clip, and a black button. So, and I will say, after firing this thing a couple hundred times, it has smoothed out so well. I mean, from getting it new, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, man, that's what's everyone talking about, you know what I mean? But I fired it probably a couple hundred times, and then I was thinking, I was like, you know what? Because generally you don't want to oil these up too much. It'll actually cause them to not function. So I was thinking, you know, I guess it is from 2019. Let's try a little bit. So I just put a drop of this right here, opened it, put a drop in the back. Then I sprayed some room oil in it and kind of fired it a few times and then blew it out. And ever since then, and about a couple hundred more firings, it's butter smooth now. With this being my first microtech, there is one thing I kind of wasn't expecting, and I saw people talk about it, but I guess I didn't think about it too much, is the button rattle. Let's see if I can see that. The button is pretty loose, and you open it, pretty loose. I've obviously gotten over that now, but at first I was like, man, that's disheartening, you know. Especially, you know, you pay $300. I paid $310. It's retail, but it is what it is. And this was one of the few tactical standards they had in stock. I do kind of wish now I would have got the bayonet blade, because the bayonet blade, it's, you know, sharp on this side, then it's sharp on half of the back side. So it's got a little place you can put your thumb. But the blade geometry on this makes it a much better slicer and EDC user, which is kind of what I wanted this knife to be. So I'm still happy with it. I'm happy with it. I still like the look of the single edge. Not a huge Tonto guy. Trying to think if I even have a Tonto blade. I don't think I do. So yeah, that's pretty much the microtech. Let me see if I have a Tonto. No Tontos. Okay, well, that says that. So now I'm going to do some quick comparisons versus a fake microtech. And I got these a year or two ago, knowing they were fake. I wasn't really into knives back then, so this was good enough for me. In the past 3 or 4 months, I've gotten hugely into knives. I kind of have an addictive personality, so I bought about 20 or so knives in the last. Let me show you. I'll just show you what I bought in the last few months. This is the last 3 months. And there's a couple more that's not in here. And as you can see, some of them are pretty highly customized, like this here Jimbo. I really like customizing my knives, even like my pair of 3 with the titanium scales. I put left-handed pocket clip holes through the scales, stuff like that. But I really like this one. It's Griptilian with the AWT scales. So that's just kind of to show. I know it's not the coolest collection ever, but for me, it's a good start, and I'm slowly working my way up the ladder. You know, like I said, it's my first microtech. My next purchase, I'm looking to get into a Sabenza. I'm looking at the small Sabenza 21. I kind of like the smaller one versus the small Nkosi. I'm trying to decide between the two. Not a huge difference, but I'm aiming more towards the Nkosi because it's got the thumb studs on both sides, and I like to reverse flick. But after doing some research, it seems those are not knives that you can really flick, or that you're supposed to, I guess. Anyways, back to this real quick. Here is a UTX 85. It's a DH Gate Special, and it's a Tonto. But this is a pretty good replica, not gonna lie. Let me show you here. It's microtech UTX 85 Tonto Edge USA. It's got the right screws. It's got the older style glass breaker. Then on the clip, you can tell it just says microtech. There's no serial number or date. That's one of the biggest giveaways. And then the button. It's a black button on a standard knife, and the button is just bigger, and it's just obviously not right. So I swear, if you put a real clip and switch the button on this one, it'd be hard to distinguish. I sharpened this one up on my work sharp, got it pretty sharp. Might be sharper than the real one though. But yeah, let's just compare them here. And this is supposed to be a UTX 85 clone, but look at the size. It is almost identical sizes with the ultratech. Maybe a quarter, half-inch tops off. So it's bigger than your normal ultratech. As far as the action, obviously the real one's better. This one's a little grittier, not as smooth. It kind of catches partway through. And it's just, obviously the $300 knife is 10 times better than the $35 knife. You know, it's just the way it is. But if you're on a budget, you're not hugely into knives, so this doesn't make you cringe to know that you own it and use it. For 40, 35, 40 bucks, not a horrible decision. You can see if you're going to like the microtech. Now, I don't condone it. It's bad they sell these. It hurts microtech. Not cool. So, yeah. And then one more I have is a big combat Troodon. And this one's, they killed the button. Button's pretty dang close. And then the pocket clip, it's pretty close because it's got the serial number and the date up here. So you got a serial number and a date. Let's fire it. This one was a Tonto, but I had it on the Work Sharp belt sharpener, and I kind of killed the Tonto edge. But it's pretty sharp. And supposedly these are D2 still. Obviously it says M390 to look real, but it's supposedly these are D2. If that's true, for 50 bucks on this one, it's a pretty good deal. But this one fires really good. And these came with the tools to disassemble them, which actually work on the real ones too. So you get a free disassembly tool. That's worth the 40 bucks anyways. So, yeah, that's just some comparisons, what to look out for on a fake one. The button and the pocket clip are a big one. Also the size, you know, take measurements on what it's supposed to be versus what it is. And the fakes are nowhere even close to the real one. The real one, you can just feel the quality, the way it fires, the blade material, everything is just better. The finish, that's another one to look at. You look at the finishes side by side. So, yeah, overall, first microtech, very happy with the quality. Man, there's not much to complain about. That little bit of button rattle bugged me at first, but I feel like I've kind of gotten over that now. It's crazy because, you know, when I first got into the knives, I had looked at these before, but hadn't done it in a while, and I was just always in my head, oh, microtech's way too expensive. Can't afford it, don't want to, could get 2 knives for what that costs. But what's funny is this knife right here, Benchmade Mini Freak carbon fiber, $265. This knife was literally 40 bucks more. And when I realized that, I got so mad at myself for not doing little bit more research and finding out how much they really are. Because instead of this knife, I could have had another mic. I could have got a UTX 85 for the same price. So just something to think about. They're not crazily overpriced compared to other knives. I think they're a pretty good deal now. After realizing this and a couple other knives I've bought, that were almost $300. I could have got a microtech, but now I've got one. Probably not going to be my last. I think I'd like a real combat Troodon. Actually, take that back. I've been looking at the Guardian Tactical, and I think the Recon 035, preferably the 040, but those are hard to find. They're out of stock everywhere. But the Recon 035 for 260 bucks, I think it'll be my next out the front. But anyways, if you're still here, I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe. All right, y'all have a great day.